Good morning, and I'm an Apple developer who has been using Mac for over 5 years. So in this video, I will show you how to set up a brand new Mac from absolute zero to something like this, by showing 25 plus things most beginners usually miss. And by the end, I will even show you an app that adds dynamic island to your Mac. And the first thing you need to do is customize the dock, because most beginners definitely don't use it the right way. For instance, I make it way smaller, remove icons I don't need, and even add this magnification effect when hovering on the dock. But there is also menu bar, which most people clutter with icons without real purpose in mind. We can change that by going to System Settings, finding their menu bar, and checking off all items you don't need. And if you have some apps installed from the internet in your menu bar, you can disable them as well in this section. Moving on to window management, which is the most boring but productive part of any Mac. You can manage windows with these three buttons: one to close, one to minimize a window, and one to enter full screen mode. But I don't use these buttons at all, because there are keyboard shortcuts, which you can see in the window panel for any app. And also, instead of full screen mode, which hides the dock and menu bar, you can use fill button to make the app fill the screen, but without hiding anything. Now, a couple of settings you need to toggle to make your Mac even better. First one is liquid gloss toggle, which I recommend changing to tinted, because you will see menus and buttons way better. Second one is night shift, which makes your desktop warmer during the night and helps to save your eyes. Third one is minimize windows into application icon, because by default the apps minimize into this space and clutter your dock. Fourth one is toggle off tilt windows have margins, so windows will just look better. Finally, here change the default browser if you hate Safari, for any particular reason. Next up is this guy, Finder, which is a simple file manager for your entire system. But we can take it from ordinary to extraordinary by adding a few tweaks. First one is File Path, which you can enable from the menu bar and it will show you paths to your files. Second one is Top Bar, which you can also enable from the menu bar. It will make using Finder way easier, because you can create tabs instead of windows, which saves space on your desktop. Third tweak is simply pinning your most used folders to the sidebar by dragging them, so you can access your most used folders way faster. Finally, make sure to enable Show All File Extensions in the settings of Finder. So when you will be downloading an image from the web, you will know exactly whether it's .jpg or .png file, which is important when working in apps like Photoshop. Now let's briefly talk about Apple Intelligence, which most people definitely underestimate, but it can massively improve your Mac. For example, you can correct grammar mistakes by selecting any text, opening Apple Intelligence, and selecting Proofread. You can also make the text more friendly or professional from the same menu. But the best feature of Apple's AI is summarizing. It allows you to summarize an entire paragraph in just one sentence, by simply selecting it and clicking Summarize. So 20 things down, now the final 5, which are all about the dynamic island. By default, macOS doesn't have one, but you can get yourself one with an app called Alcove, which is a 1v1 copy of iPhone's dynamic island. It has all of its features like the Now Playing widget, focus modes integration, and so on. But Alcove also has Mac-specific features, like this calendar, which shows events from your Apple or Google Calendar and literally feels like Apple made it. And the last thing I advise you to do on a brand new Mac is simply to clean the trash, because most beginners don't do it for a long time. However, if you want to find out about 5 awesome Mac apps that are similar to Alcove, watch this video next. I will see you there. Think different.